Hey everyone, and welcome to this railway video, this Disused railway walk video in Nottingham again. I'm back in Nottingham and we're going to follow part of the former Great Northern Railway. So where I'm going to begin is beside the old corn warehouse, the Great Northern Railway, the derelict warehouse. Obviously can't get inside it, it's all boarded and fenced off, but I'm going to do a bit of drone footage, fly around above and sideways, and we're going to have a little aerial look at the old warehouse. Now this opened way back in 1857 and I believe came out of use in the late 1960s when the Great Northern Railway did in fact close. Now beyond that, we'll then follow the course of the Great Northern Railway and head off towards a destination of the Nottingham Racecourse Station. Now this closed in the 1950s, a few years before the line itself shut in the 1960s. And we're going to go along the outskirts of where Sneinton is on the left and what is now Delside Road is on the right hand side. Now midway along our route we'll also meet up with where the Nottingham Suburban Railway came off the Great Northern Railway and then shot across our walk today and headed off to places such as Sherwood and Daybrook, and we'll have a little look at that junction and anything that remains around there before continuing on to our racecourse destination. I'll let you have a look at the map and show you where we are and where we're going. So to begin with, we're going to take a little look at the Great Northern Railway's warehouse, opening back in 1857 and has long been derelict. That is exactly where we're looking at now. And we're going to take the line, the red line, eastwards towards Sneinton. Now Sneinton is on the left and the racecourse will eventually come up to us on the right hand side. So once leaving the warehouse, we go underneath Manvers Street, or the route used to go under Manvers Street, and it would take us off towards Sneinton. Once running between Sneinton and Delside Road on the right hand side of the route, we cross along where the Nottingham Suburban Railway used to curve off and loop off northwards. That's the red line that skirts off and crosses over our active yellow line between Nottingham and Grantham and proceeds on towards Sherwood and also on towards Daybrook. Beyond that we'll carry on and we'll leave the Nottingham Suburban Railway behind before we end up at the site of the former Nottingham Racecourse Station. So let's get back down to our Trackbed Walk. Right, so I'm leaving the warehouse behind now. That is Manvers Street up there, the A612 heading off towards Colic, and the River Trent's over there as well, around about half a mile away. And I'm heading off down to the former Trackbed and heading off towards Sneinton. So the route now heads off towards the junction where the Nottingham Suburban line shot off over towards Daybrook. But today we're going to try and get as far as where the former Nottingham Racecourse is. So I'm right next to the Nottingham to Newark, the active line, and Nottingham East Croft is just to my right over there, and Nottingham Railway Station just beyond. Look at this old lamp and its ladder going up. That's an old relic, isn't it? Try and get a photo of that and get a little bit closer. So Nottingham is waking up over there. The station is beyond the road there. You see a unit waiting for its daily workings. We turn around and look at the sunrise, and there's the line heading off towards Newark and Grantham. To take you off a little bit further over here, just get you a better look at the actual curve. That's Daleside Road over there, so you know where we are. So coming away from this footbridge briefly, now down here there used to be a level crossing before the footbridge was put in around about 10 years ago. If we take a look where the gates are, look, you can see the old road markings. Let's get the lens through there a little bit. The old road markings, look, going over where the crossing used to be and where the former barriers were. Spinning right around, and look at this, the beautiful stone wall leading over to this lovely railway bridge and an embankment on the other side. So that's Sneinton through there. You can see that it was in fact a single track at this point, which surprised me. I don't know a lot about this line. I'm learning as I go as well, as I'm taking you with me. See it from the other angle. That's pretty good, isn't it? Must have been painted around about 20 years ago too. And a little more evidence of the former level crossing hides amongst the trees, look. Still in relatively good condition, but never to have a use of that purpose again. So let's get ourselves up onto this track bed again. Up and over the bridge that we've just been looking at. And sadly I'm not really going to be able to get the drone up much because of the active railway line just there, so at least we've got it up around the warehouse at the beginning. If I do get an opportunity, I'll bang it up a little bit later on. Now look at these archways that's built into this as well. It's a beautiful little thing, isn't it, this? So immediately onto the track bed, look, we've got an old coping stone, and up here is the bridge that we've just been looking at from down below. So it's still got its original metalwork look on either side. With those huge rivets and bolts. I'm not sure if this is going to be original or if I think that was put on later, surely. It looks a bit too more modern than what it's actually sat on, but I could be wrong. And the old wooden side there. There's a little view of Sneinton down there. That's Ivett Road at the end of there. The sun is glistening through the trees. Look at these beautiful colours too. What a lovely morning to come and do this. So next up we're going to meet up with what was Trent Lane Junction. So you got the active railway line down there, and the former route of the line comes off and heads off pretty much where all these brambles are. You can see I've just took a bit of a turn just there, and it did shoot off over there because the path goes alongside the bridge that has been removed. I was going to go up there and show you that side of the bridge, but there's a gentleman asleep in a tent, so I won't be doing that. But I can show you from a different angle by just popping a little way down here. So I could not have timed that any luckier. I just popped around here to show you the abutment to that bridge that went over the active line, and that ballast train comes along. That was brilliant, wasn't it? So yeah, so there's the abutment just there. The tent and the gentleman is just the other side of that, bless him. And you can see other stonework on the right hand side apparent. Now the bridge shot all the way across there, and the other side is just there. You've just seen in the tail end shot of that freight working. Now what that did next was shoot on over to where the Nottingham Racecourse is, and there was also a former station there. And what you've got now is this footbridge taking us over the active line, which will then take us round, and I can give you a better look at the archway on the right hand side. So below that beautiful skyline you've got the line heading off towards Newark and Grantham. That's where our stone train just disappeared off to. I'm going to spin you around and give you another angle of the former bridge and the one that's missing just to the right. Now I missed out on going up to the other side of the disused bridge, but I'm going to have a go, see if I can get up the embankment and have a look at this side just here. There's some old foundations here. Look, there must have been a workman's hut at one time. Brickwork all the way around, looking a rectangular fashion. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to clamber up and get up onto what was the start of the Nottingham Suburban Railway. It looks a bit too overgrown to really do much. Let's have a look this way. This is heading back towards those bridges we've just been looking at. Might just be able to fight my way through and see how close I can actually get. That's about the best I'm going to get. So the railings are just through beyond there. You can just make out the footbridge down there. Look what we've just been looking at and walking across. So let's get off this section of the Suburban Railway. I think we're going to be able to meet up with this again very, very shortly, where it then crossed over the Great Northern Line that we've been following today. Right, so back down where those bricks and foundations were, if we go across here a little way, there's something else. I don't know what this is. It's a slightly off square, like rectangular trough of some sort. Back out on here I can see the abutment to yet another bridge or crossing. Look at this through here. It's quite a bit to see, isn't there? So there's your old Nottingham Suburban line, And what it would have done here is crossed over the Great Northern Line that we've been following today. And there's all manner of large brickwork and stonework along this blue brick walling. Let's get around here. And there it is, look. So that would have been where the bridge shot across and crossed our line today that we're following. So I think before we carry on our journey towards destination at the racecourse, let's see if we can get across where the bridge used to be and see if anything remains of this part of the Nottingham Suburban Railway. So through the trees, look, there's a little bit more. There's another brick wall. So that's where we've just been stood. Just there you can see the abutment through there. And here's another one, look. Let's get you back a little bit. Clearly showing the route coming straight over on that one. So it's askew to the line that we've been walking. It's quite high up, is it, down here? Yeah, there's the other side of it. So that was clearly what looks like a central pillar, and there must have been another one or an embankment on the other side of the track bed, which is in front of us now. Look, this is the one we've been walking along this morning. So let's cross here and we'll go on to what was also a little spur which come off our Great Northern Line onto the Suburban, and this is the embankment for that, what we're on now. So it came off the line just there. You got the Great Northern there, you got our Suburban Line coming off here, and the track bed took us through all this undergrowth down here. I'm going to see if I can get a bit further up and get on and have a look. So indeed there is a third abutment, look. So the middle one is just through there, and obviously the first one we found is just beyond. And here is the third one which would have picked up our Suburban Line. So the track bed to the right. I'm going to have a bit of a scramble through here and see if I can get up there and take a little look. I think that's going to be, yeah. There's that abutment there, look, with a bit of coping stone on top. I'm going to have a go at getting up here without falling over. Come on, nearly there. Oh, I ain't done this for a while. And I'm up. I mean, nothing to see. Let's see if we can get on top of that abutment wall. Here we go, look. There's the view looking down at our track bed we've been walking today. Nice layout of coping stones all the way around. So the route coming straight across in a diagonal fashion over our Great Northern Line. And if we go back through here, we should be able to pick up where that little spur was as well. Let's get down here. What's next? Oh, it's a proper little jungle mission, this. Well done if you're still with me, by the way, because it's quite spiky and prickly. And I've gone about as far as I can now. So the old spur has now joined on, and it headed off towards Sherwood and on towards Daybrook. So at this point I'm going to get myself back onto the Great Northern Line and head off towards where the Racecourse Station was. So Nottingham Racecourse Station opened on the 3rd of October 1857 and lasted until the 8th of December in 1959 before closure, or that's when closure was. So we're going to lose the track bed now before we get there. That shot off roughly where that bench is and on beyond the bushes and the unit behind. That's our view looking back. I'm going to take you down and hopefully see if anything remains of our station. I mean, it could be unlikely if there is anything there, but that is going to be pretty much journey's end for today. And as I follow this path down, you can still see the embankment of the track bed just there, look, heading off towards Daleside Road on the racecourse. So coming across this really busy road, Daleside Road, it's shot across here and the track bed is over there. Now this is the park and ride, so I'm not really going to flash the camera around much here because of cars and registration plates. I'm going to take it off to the left and we can briefly follow the course of the track bed. Now we're about halfway through the car park and the station was situated up on the left hand side just there. It appears that nothing seems to remain of it, sadly, not even any kind of foundations. I might have a run up there if I get to the other end and see nothing else. But other than that, that could well be journey's end. But I'm going to keep an eye out. You never know, there might be something. Sadly, that looks like it. I've gone to the other end. I can't find any traces of anything to do with the station apart from the aforementioned embankment sat up there where the station once proudly sat. So all I can do is say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll leave you with some pictures of the former Nottingham Racecourse Station. Thank you very much. Bye bye.